Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, where we explore the nuances of language and dive into the expressions from the English radio show Power English. Today, we're delving into some fascinating idioms and expressions that can truly enrich our understanding of the language. Let's jump right in. 1. Strive for something. One powerful expression we encounter is, strive for something. This phrase means to put in great effort or work hard towards achieving a specific goal or desired outcome. It's about a continuous and determined pursuit of excellence or improvement in a particular area. For example, she strives for excellence in her academic studies, always seeking to achieve the highest grades possible. 2. Strive. Now, let's break down the verb, strive. To strive means to try very hard to do or achieve something. It involves putting in substantial effort and struggling toward a goal. For instance, we must all strive to do better, or, she always strives for perfection. This verb emphasizes the dedication and determination required in the pursuit of success. 3. Give it one's all. Moving on to, give it one's all. This expression encourages putting forth maximum effort or giving one's utmost in a particular endeavor. It implies dedicating all available energy, resources, and determination to achieve a goal or succeed in a task. Consider this example. Despite facing numerous challenges, she decided to give it her all and pursue her dream of starting her own business. 4. Dial back something. Let's explore, dial back something. This phrase means to reduce or decrease the intensity, level, or extent of something, often in relation to one's actions or behavior. For instance, she needs to dial back her spending habits, or, in negotiations, it's essential to dial back any confrontational tone and find common ground for a mutually beneficial agreement. The idea is to moderate or control certain aspects for better results. 5. If you're like me. Now, onto the expression, if you're like me. This phrase is used to express a shared experience or characteristic with the speaker. It suggests that the speaker is making a statement about themselves and believes that others might have a similar experience or feel the same way. For example, if you're like me, you probably struggle to stay focused during long meetings. 6. Kickstart your day. And finally, kickstart your day. This phrase encourages initiating or energizing the start of your day in a positive and invigorating way. It's about giving new energy to your day, just like enjoying a good cup of coffee in the morning. If you're like me, you love a good cup of coffee in the morning to kickstart your day. There you have it, folks. We've explored some enriching expressions from Power English. If you found this content valuable, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button for more linguistic insights. Until next time, keep striving for your language goals, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Let's get right into it.
Yes.
Productive, productivity, comes from the word produce.
Yes.
So what is productivity here?
Productivity is the amount that you are able to create, to make.
Okay.
You know, and we originally talked about this in terms of like farmland. How much food can you make from this land?
Right.
But now, since most people aren't farmers, we also talk about, you know, how much work can you do in an hour, in a day? How productive are you?
Okay, so, and to be productive means that you are able to do your work efficiently, do it well, and do a lot.
Right. You're not just sleeping or resting. You're doing something what most people would consider valuable.
Okay. Now, if you strive, S-T-R-I-V-E, for something, what does this mean?
To strive for something, it means you're going towards a goal, but you're working hard towards that goal.
Okay. So you are striving for 85% productivity.
Yeah.
We would assume it should be 100%. Right? Like you gotta do 100%.
100%,
fully. Yeah. But it's only 85. That's interesting. Okay, let's look at some other expressions. If you give it your all or give it my all, what does this mean?
This means that you work hard, like 100%. You put 100% of your effort and power into something.
Okay. Give it fully, right?
Yeah.
Dial, D-I-A-L, it back.
Yes.
When we think of the word dial, we think of traditionally like when you're making a phone call to dial the number.
Yes.
These days we kind of just push the number, right?
Right.
What is this dial something back?
Well, it is related to telephones in a way. Maybe we can talk about that later. But the meaning of this, to dial back, means to make less intense, to lessen the strength or the frequency, just not go as hard.
Yeah.
Not go as intense as you were.
Okay. All right. So dial it back. Let's go ahead and listen to our article.
If you're like me, you were taught to give it your all in everything you do. What you put in is what you get out, is what my father used to say. But like in sports, trying to operate at 100% effort at all times will lead to a decline in output, not an increase. Instead, researchers say, dial it back to 85% effort. It's more sustainable over time and will result in consistent gains. If you strive for a level of accomplishment and effort that makes you proud of your successes and accepting of your failures, you'll be happier and more productive in the long run.
Let's take a look at this article. If you're like me, you were taught to give it your all in everything you do. So our first expression or power pattern is if you're like me.
Yes.
Why is this a pattern, if you're like me? What is it really saying?
So if you're like me, it's a way of often starting an article or starting a speech, saying, I have had an experience.
Yeah.
And I think you probably have the same experience.
Right.
So, listen to what I'm going to say.
Right. It's kind of like you're starting off to connect with the other person or the audience.
Yeah.
It's kind of a general statement that everyone probably can agree on.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel this way, you probably feel this way. If you're like me, which means we probably think the same. Okay?
Well, I'd hope so. You know, because this person, you don't know who this person is in the article. They could be, I don't know, some astronaut.
Yeah.
Or I'm not
true.
an astronaut, so we have to find a way to connect to each other.
That's right. So by starting off with, if you're like me, it's kind of grabbing someone's attention. And then after that comes a general statement.
Yes.
You were taught to give it your all in everything you do. So generally, we were taught, okay, when you do something, you got to do it well.
Yeah.
You got to do it fully.
110%.
110%.
Yeah.
Put in everything. So give it your all. What does this mean?
To give it your all is to do the best you can. All of the possible effort that you could put into something, do it.
Do it.
Yeah. No resting, no going easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that you have, put it in there. Okay. What you put in is what you get out, is what my father used to say. So input, output, same.
Yeah.
But like in sports, trying to operate at 100% effort at all times will lead to a decline in output, not an increase. Okay, now this is a key sentence here. Okay? If you operate at 100% all the time, what happens?
There is a decline in output, not an increase. So over the long term, going 100% all the time means you actually do less.
Right.
And you might, for sports especially, it's easy to understand this. Like a marathon runner, They don't run marathons every day.
No.
The body cannot run a marathon every day.
No.
So they actually do much less of their running than that on a daily basis.
Right, right. Because if they run every day, then they're going to decline.
Yeah.
It's not going to get better. Let's continue.
Instead, researchers say dial it back to 85% effort.
Okay. So, dial it back to 85% effort. Don't do 100%. What does this dial it back to 85?
Dial it back means to decrease the intensity, decrease the amount of something to lessen it. So earlier you were talking about dial and telephones, right?
Right.
And that's because we used to have rotary telephones that turned, right? You had to do that little circle. My grandmother had one.
Oh, yeah.
It was like...
Yeah.
The reason it's a dial is because that circular movement is that object is the dial.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes from. This expression is talking about when you have a machine, like when you have a volume and you turn the knob, you can dial the volume down. Or you can dial the volume up.
Yes.
Right. So this dialing back is that same motion. Like just less power.
Yeah.
Less intensity.
Right.
Turn down.
Turn down.
Yeah.
From 100%. It's more sustainable over time and will result in consistent gains. Now, this is why you want to dial it back. It's more sustainable over time. So the word sustainable, we usually hear this word when it comes to the environment.
Right.
But how about ourselves? Sustainable.
So anything that is sustainable is something that can continue to be done, and you do not have to worry about it running out.
Yeah.
So with running, if running is sustainable, it means you're going at a speed where you can continue to run. If I'm doing a sprint, if I'm running full speed, I have maybe 15 seconds. And it slowly gets slower and slower, right?
Yeah.
It's not sustainable.
It's not.
Because it's too much.
Right.
So here, if you want to talk about the environment, using products that are like eco-friendly resources, that allows us to continue to live on the planet.
Yes.
Therefore, it is sustainable.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So even ourselves, like we're not robots. We're not machines. It's not sustainable.
Right.
Right. We need sleep. We need rest. We need our naps. Okay. So if you do dial it back, you have greater output.
Yes.
And then let's continue.
If you strive for a level of accomplishment and effort that makes you proud of your successes and accepting of your failures, you'll be happier and more productive in the long run.
Okay. So if you strive for a level of accomplishment and effort.
Yes.
So let's break this down. Strive for.
So strive for is to aim for when you have a goal that you want to reach. However, the striving part of this is it's not that you're just looking and aiming, but you're actively working hard towards that. It's a really important part of the goal that you're really wanting to match a certain standard.
Right. So you're putting like all this effort into getting that goal or reaching that standard. It's like you're kind of like, really making a concerted effort to do so.
Yeah. Really focusing on getting it accomplished.
Okay. So you're going to strive for a level of accomplishment, and you'll be proud of your successes and accepting of your failures. So in the end, in the long run, you'll be happier and more productive. So 85% is actually the result will be much better than 100% all the time.
Good to know.
Yes. Let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
If you're like me, you were taught to give it your all in everything you do. What you put in is what you get out, is what my father used to say. But like in sports, trying to operate at 100% effort at all times will lead to a decline in output, not an increase. Instead, researchers say, dial it back to 85% effort. It's more sustainable over time and will result in consistent gains. If you strive for a level of accomplishment and effort that makes you proud of your successes and accepting of your failures, you'll be happier and more productive in the long run.
All right, let's do a quick review. If you give it your all, it means that you put maximum effort into what you do, okay? Do you really think I can win the race?
There's nothing you can't do if you give it your all.
Okay. I gave the company my all for 20 years and finally got promoted to president.
Lucky.
Wow.
I know a lot of people who give their all to the company and
Oh, yeah.
they don't get anything.
They don't. They don't. So I feel like with me, personality-wise, as a person, I tend to give it my all in everything that I do. Sometimes I feel like I should dial it back, but it's hard not to because it's just it's my personality.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I only give it my all when it's something I want. Like if I have no interest, I can't do it at all. For me, it's 0 or 100. There's no middle.
I would say 0 or 200 for you.
But in school, like if there was a subject that I just did not like, I couldn't do it.
Really?
Oh, it was so hard.
But you liked all the subjects.
So I did not like biology.
Oh.
I love physics. Like in high school, I loved physics.
Wow.
But I did not like biology. So in my school, we got to choose between them. I had to get out of biology.
Really?
I went to the counselor and I can't do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're more of a physics, you're math, you're good at math, you're physics, chemistry kind of person.
I didn't care about plants or animals.
Yeah.
Now I like them. Now I'd probably love the subject. But in high school, no interest at all.
All right. Okay. Dial it back means it's very intense. Make it less intense.
Yes.
You're walking like you just got in a car accident.
I've been working out really hard lately. I guess I should dial it back at the gym.
So maybe you're doing too much weightlifting.
Yeah.
And, that's not always good for you.
No. Yeah, it can be really bad.
Why are you laughing?
Because I don't work out hard by myself.
Yeah.
But my gym, once every 2 weeks, I get like PT.
PT, yeah.
For like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just like a free special that they gave out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we did legs.
Oh.
And I never do legs. It's my least favorite. So I did
your long legs.
20 minutes of a workout. And it's been like 4 days now. I'm like, I need to dial it back.
Are you hurting?
My legs are just, I don't know, my legs are dead still. Yeah. So, if
you have no feeling in your legs.
Oh, there's a lot of feeling. There's too much feeling in my legs.
Okay. The political candidate dialed back his attacks against his opponent. So it's kind of like you're going full force.
Yeah.
You're giving it your all.
Yeah.
And then it's too much, and that's when you say, okay, need to dial it back.
Yes.
It's a little too much.
Right. And it's not just that there is a negative thing that you're doing too much. It's just that it is too much. So what happens sometimes with some people on radio or TV, they're just super excited all the time and they're just always talking like this and it actually is hard to listen to because it's so much energy.
All right, please just dial it back just a little bit.
Right.
Okay.
So it's just being too much, too intense, too much energy.
Right.
You have gone over what would be acceptable.
That's right. Okay. So if there's too much oba, you want to dial it back sometimes. All right. Strive for something means to try to get or accomplish something.
Yes.
Why do you want to work for this company?
Because Tommaso Paint always strives for the highest quality and best service.
So we always hear, I do a lot of these 홍보, 녹음, recordings.
Yeah.
And so we strive for, our company strives for.
Those PR recordings are always like that. Yeah.
That's right. So we're always doing our best to do something. Okay, if you are striving for perfection, you will always fail.
Striving for perfection.
Do you strive for perfection? I think you kind of do.
It depends on the area, again, but like things that I want to do well.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Yeah.
No one is perfect.
I know.
But I almost feel if you strive for perfect, even if you fail, it's better than
nothing.
Right?
Yeah, just average.
You can get further
That's
sometimes.
True. Yeah. It's interesting because I give it my all, but I don't strive for perfection.
Ah.
That's kind of, so, yeah. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's true.
Well, no, yeah. If you recognize that striving for perfection is kind of a useless goal, you can still give all of your energy to something.
Okay. If you're like me, which means like you're going to make a general statement.
Yes.
If you're like me, you hate doing the dishes.
I love it, actually.
I know.
Yeah. If you're like me, sunny days are for outdoor activities.
Okay.
Not me
But
either.
you don't have to, you don't have to agree.
Yeah.
But these are general statements that are true.
Right. The speaker is trying to get you to agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is not true.
Establish common ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Very important word these days that is being tossed around a lot these days is the word sustainable. Do check out the definition on page 90 and let's thank our sponsor.
한국토익위원회에서 취업과 승진을 위한 토익 스피킹 응시권을 드립니다.